Cheers, I do buggers. How the heck are you? I am Tom, the beer whisperer. Who else would I be, man? So I had a glass of this while I was I was finishing my dinner outside, but then it got dark on me. My dinner got done. Anyway, long story short, I just found a time to get back to it. Brooklyn Black Ops, 12.4%. It is a big Imperial Stout that's aged in Four Roses barrels, bourbon. You do get big chocolate on those. I mentioned some tasty notes when when I had it when I was outside, but I was pairing it with well, not bourbon. I was gonna say bourbon, no, but it was my J. Ringer's Kansas City whiskey. Mm. A lot of big chocolate notes on the nose, but you also get a lot of herbal notes too. Using my little snifter here. It's not as sweet as most imperial stouts, and quite frankly, at 12.4, the body does feel a lot lighter than you'd expect. Typically, a beer of this style is very viscous. This one does feel quite a bit lighter, to be honest with you. The bourbon barrel notes, I like Four Roses bourbon. I think for the price point, it is one of the better bourbon values out there. I think it's as good, if not better, than some at higher price points across what it has. I mean, the regular Four Roses, the small batch, the single barrel, the regular bourbon is typically runs a little bit less expensive than even Jim Beam. Uh, and I think it's the quality is as good as any of them. And their small batch is typically priced less than other brands' small batch, single barrel, etc. And what it does here is provide, well, you certainly feel the oak, feel the nice toasted oak all the way through it. But what it offers is a whole lot of vanilla. Four Roses bourbon does give you a lot of vanilla. It typically gives you a nice spice finish, and you do feel all those elements in this particular beer as well. And even at 12.4, it isn't as sweet as most of the style. And what that bourbon barrel also does is really help clean up the finish. The finish is very nice. You do feel is where you feel the bourbon barrel the most is right at the end. You feel just a hint of that char, a little bit of smoke, maybe. You certainly get those nice toasted oak notes, a little bit of spice, not a lot of spice, but a little bit. A little bit of cinnamon, nutmeg, maybe. I almost forgot to do a video just for this, but I need to finish this bottle. Oh boy, I better sneak one in. Wife and I just watched a movie. Well, before we start something else, let me do a quick video here as we wind up Christmas. Sometimes I have the backgrounds on my television set, but that is our actual mantle back there. That's real, man. Anyway, got my jammies on because I'm done for the evening. It's over, man. It's all I got. It was enjoyable being able to use my grill. So I smoked a meatloaf for lunch. I grilled some bacon wrapped tenderloin for dinner. It worked out well. And I won't say it's the first time I've been able to do that, but it doesn't happen very often here in the Ozarks. I grew up in Southern California, so this type of weather at Christmas isn't unusual. But it is for these parts. Uh, yeah, you know what? When I first poured this to have some outside, it was a little colder. I had it sit out for about 10 minutes, but uh, I think this particular beer, in fact, almost every beer of this style really is best served at about 55 to 60 degrees. And the longer I've let this sit out and relax, the more aromatic it has become, and the flavors have really intensified because I'm feeling these great big chocolate notes that I don't remember getting earlier. Not quite on this level, anyway. Nice dark chocolate, like a 70% dark chocolate bar, where you have that just very slight, chocolate bitterness right in the finish. Here you have that in conjunction with those oak notes and those slight spice notes that cleans up any residual sweetness. The vanilla that you get here is absolutely gorgeous. I might have to see if I can procure another bottle of this to maybe have on New Year's. But I thought about saving this one, but I thought I wanted to try it just to see how it was, and I wanted to pop one good beer on Christmas. Uh, Believe it or not, it's only the second beer that I've popped. I mean, it's a big one. Don't get me wrong, but it's only the second beer I've had today. I love how it does finish pleasantly oaky dry. Many of the style tend to be a little too sweet. I think a lot of imperial stouts are best served being chucked in a barrel because they're too sweet as is. You know, putting them in a bourbon barrel or any kind of barrel, even just oak for that matter, really helps dry it up and clean it up. But the addition of the bourbon barrel just adds another dimension. Then you add those vanilla, possibly toffee notes. Uh, Again, spice notes. There's toasted oak, possibly a char, maybe a hint of smoke. There's a lot of elements that a bourbon barrel can add to a beer to really take a good beer and make it incredible. And I think that's what they've done here. So there you go. That's all I got. That's it, man. Nothing more to see. Move along. Anyway, I am Tom the Beer Whisperer, beer evangelist, prolific beer drinker, per beer whistle man. Mm. Boy, that's delicious. All around good guy. Cheers, y'all.